Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new watch from a company called Microwear, and this model is called M3. So without further ado, let's unbox it and let's see what comes from China from AliExpress for $42. So in the box you'll find the watch itself. There is a number of options you can choose from, so you can buy them in color black or silver. Also, you can choose between the metal straps or the silicone straps, depending on your own preference. In the pack, you'll also find a user manual in Chinese and also in English. If you're gonna order a watch with metal strap, you will receive a little screwdriver like that, simply because to adjust the strap length for your wrist, in order for you to actually unlock it, you're gonna have to use something like that. And finally, you receive this magnetic charging cable. So first of all, let's talk about some of the figures of this watch. So the processor in this watch is called MTK2502C. The watch has 256 megabyte RAM, so it runs animation pretty smoothly. The straps for this watch are 22mm straps. The screen size is 1.3 inches across with a resolution of 360 by 360 pixels, so it's a very nice and crisp picture. The watch features two Bluetooth modules on board, Bluetooth 3.0 and 4.0. This watch comes with an IP rating of IP68, meaning that this watch can be taken into a swimming pool, into a shower, and it's not afraid of any water or any dust for that matter of fact. Inside of the watch you'll find a battery, which is 330 milliamp battery, which at light use will last you for a good week, and if you're going to be making lots of phone calls and checking your emails and changing watch faces all the time, the battery should last between 2 to 3 working days, which is still good enough because this watch features lots of different things inside of it. And lastly, the application that this watch uses to connect to your phone is called M Active. So firstly, I'd like to talk about the actual design of the watch and the build quality. You've got the hardened glass screen, so it's not afraid of any scratches whatsoever. The body of the watch is all made out of metal, as well as the 3 physical buttons that you can find on the right side. This is all made out of metal. The crown is actually works for the rotation, as you've just seen it a second ago when I've changed the watch face, so you can actually change the watch face. But because of a good, thoughtful design, you're not going to find yourself changing watch faces accidentally throughout the day, because the crown is actually protected by 2 buttons and it's not that easy to rotate it, so that's a very good design. At the rear of the watch we've got the sensors. They are a very good sensors, you know, they're not top of the range, but they sort of do take good readings. And at the top, as you can see, there's a little slot. This is where your speaker hides. And also, if you take a closer look at the top of the watch, there's a small hole right at the top. This is your microphone, and there's a secondary microphone which is just there underneath there. So the microphone quality, which you will see later on in the review, is actually quite good. So let's have a look at some of the options of the watch. So usual thing, if you scroll from top to bottom, excuse you know, the thing that it's not connected to my phone at the minute. I had to disconnect it. So the first thing you'll see is the icon for the QR code. So you can tap that and you can download the app from here. Then obviously, where it's dark and gray at the minute, this is where you would have seen your Bluetooth connectivity status, as well as these little icon here. These would have been lit up in one solid color if it was connected. Then you've got your battery remaining charge. The screen is very bright. I mean, you can use it on a top brightness if you want, but really on a day-to-day basis, you know, half of the brightness is more than enough to use it in any conditions. What's very good is the screen gets so bright and so vivid that you can see I've got my softbox on at the minute, and that would simulate the real sun sort of thing, and you can still see the screen clearly, so the screen quality is very, very good. And finally, you've got the settings themselves, and we'll talk about that later on, but you can access settings from there quickly as well. If you scroll from bottom to top, I'm not going to show you because the Bluetooth is not connected, but you'll see your messages that came through to your watch. You can read the message fully. It supports many different languages and it looks very good. However, if you click on the message and you read it and you then exit, it will be deleted automatically. So that's just one of those things you have to take into account. Then if you scroll from right to left, that takes you into the round menu that will bring you back here. So the first thing that shows you is how many steps you've done, how many miles you've traveled, you know, how many calories you've burned. The second screen shows you the last night's sleep. also if you click the top button, that will show you the history of your records like sleep or your physical activities. The next section allows you to take your heart rate reading, so I'll pop it onto my wrist. Like I said, it's a good sensor. It's not the quickest, so it takes some time to actually take a reading, but most of the time it takes a very accurate reading, and I've been very happy with this sensor. And then if we scroll further, this is where you'll find all your physical activities. So we'll start with the swimming pool. So you've got the swimming pool, rope skipping, basketball, badminton, table tennis and climbing, all those things. And then you can use your crown to actually choose between different sports. And once you're ready to actually, for instance, play tennis, all you have to do is just press in the middle, and then you will see this go button. You press that go button, the countdown will take place, and you'll start, the watch will start tracking your activities. So like, heart rate sensor, how many calories you burned, how long you've been playing, and then if you scroll from left to right, that basically takes you into your main menu. So we'll scroll down to the top. This is where you've got things like phone book, but you have to be connected via the Bluetooth, and you have to synchronize the phone book from your phone. You've got your phone dial, so you can dial the phone number if you know it from the top of your head. You also got your call log, so for instance, if you ring someone frequently, they will, their number will be stored just there. You got your messages. Bluetooth music is very simple and very straightforward. I'll show you just now. So if you just cancel that, the player looks like this. You can control the volume of music played on the watch, and you can also play and pause and skip the tracks, and you can listen to the music from your watch, so from the speaker installed in the watch. However, what I found is if you listen to the music via the earbuds, you can still use the watch as a remote control. So that'd be go into the player like that, and you can skip tracks and it will work just fine. But then if you pause your music on the watch and then start playing it again, what will happen is the watch will deactivate the Bluetooth module on your earbuds, and it will start playing music through the watch. And it's one of those things. I hope with the next update, software update, perhaps maybe they can fix this issue, but I think at the minute it's a bit raw sort of thing. So going further, you've got your remote capture. So for instance, if there is no one around and you want to take a selfie, you can use this watch as a remote to take pictures from your phone. You can find your phone if you've lost it, a frequently asked question. You can set alarm from the watch itself. You can choose when the alarm will take place, and what time the alarm will start to play music and all those things. There is a calendar, frequently asked question as well. It shows you today's date, and if you click down below there, it shows you dates for the whole month. And then if you want to see next month, you can do that as well. Very, very convenient. You've got the stopwatch, very simple. Once again, you hit play or just start the stopwatch. The timer will start running. You can choose, you can trace different laps, different tracks, and then you don't have to stay on the screen. You can just exit the screen, but the stopwatch will continue to take measurements. There is a calculator. Once again, very frequently asked question. Yeah, there is a calculator in this watch. And for the motion, that basically allows you to turn the option on and off in the watch itself for the screen to come on every single time you rotate your wrist. There is also a reminder to, if you've been sitting for too long, you can set that from your watch. And also there's a power saving mode, just in case if you're running out of power. You can choose between different sort of volumes for your ring, for your notifications, for your media. And finally, if we jump into the settings, this is where you can find the settings for your Bluetooth. You can actually manually set the time and the date for the watch. Very frequently asked question as well. Can you set the time? How do I set the time? Where do I set the time? In here, you can just click on clock, and you can actually change the time within the watch itself and the date as well. Very convenient for those who travel a lot and you skip through many different time zones as well. The other thing is you can change the new notification bright. So for instance, the screen will come on. You can turn this option on and off. You can choose between different ringtones for your incoming calls, for your text messages, for your alerts from your social media. So for instance, the watch will make some sort of a noise. There is also a setting for display, so we can change the brightness, and also we can choose between how long our screen will stay on once we stop using it. So for instance, it can be as little as 5 seconds, or you can go to the the opposite extreme and you can choose the whole minute, so the screen will stay on for a minute. Obviously, the more time the screen stays on, the less the battery will last. And finally, I'll just show you some of the languages that are available within the watch itself, so you can choose different languages. Let me just turn that off. So different languages would be, so you got English, French, you got, oh, hang on. So the different languages that you have within the watch is English, French, Spanish, you got Polish, you got Portuguese, you've got Italian, Dutch, that language, you got Indonesian, you got Czech, Dutch, Finnish, Turkish, Russian, Persian, Hebrew, some Greek and Croatian, Romanian, and many other languages. So you can possibly find the language of your choice, and I think it's a very good option as well. So if many people from around the world buying these products, it's always good to have languages available. And right at the end, you can reset all the settings for your watch, and you can read some information about the watch as well. But that's about it. What you'll find in the watch, within the watch itself. Those are the options that you can choose. What I'll do now is I'll demonstrate to you how many watch faces are available on the watch and within the watch itself, because in fact there is actually 56 watch faces available. So I'll scroll through, you'll have a chance to see all the watch faces. There is more watch faces available via the app, but we'll have a look at it later on. And what we'll do now is I'll quickly demonstrate to you how the microphone sounds on this watch, and unfortunately I can't demonstrate how the speaker sounds, but let me tell you that the speaker sounds loud enough for you to have a decent conversation with someone through this watch. So let's have a listen to the recordings of the microphone from M3. So this is a quick example of how the voice will sound like through M3 whilst we're having a conversation. Like I said, it's got two microphones, so they pick up your voice pretty well. I've got the watch in a quiet environment. It's about 30 centimeters away from my face, which is usually how you would have used your watch for the conversation anyway. And yeah, you've got a choice. You have a chance to actually hear how the voice sounds. I think it's pretty decent. So, but yeah, it's for you to decide whether it's good for you or not. Alright, and finally let's have a look at the app that this watch uses to connect to your phone, and then we're going to come back and we're going to summarize today's. Right guys, let's take a closer look at the app. I'm active. You can see I've got quite a few apps downloaded already. So we'll click on the app. On the first page, as usual information, you can see how many steps you've done, how many calories you burned, your sleep tracking for the previous night or the week and things like that. Which is all very useful information. And then if we click on the second page, this is where you can track your physical activities. You just press go and the watch will track any activities you're doing. On the third page, you've got information about your watch being connected. You can find your watch if you've lost it, and where it says dial push, if you press on that, this is where you'll find extra watch faces for your watch. There are really not many watch faces to be downloaded, and the library hasn't expanded since I purchased this watch, but I believe that's okay. And finally, if you press onto a dial selection right at the top, this is where you can upload a picture of your choice and you can actually make a custom watch face for your watch. You can really customize it thoroughly if you wanted to. A useful feature for lots of people, I believe. And finally, on the last page, this is where you can insert the information about yourself, and you can also connect the Active app to the Google Fit or Apple Health. So guys, now that you've seen pretty much everything about this watch, I hope you don't have too many questions about this product. $42 US in comparison to all those Apple clones that we had in the past, because some of them did cost near enough the same price. I must admit, this is a very good buy because you've got lots of watch faces. This is a very nicely built watch, it looks very futuristic. You can use it for casual or a bit more formal sort of, you know, times, you know, because depending on what sort of color you will choose and how many, you know, what sort of straps you will use, you know, you can really spice this watch up. The screen is very good, the resolution is nice and crisp, and the brightness of the screen is actually allowing you to read the information on the screen regardless of what's going on outside. So it's a sunny day or cloudy day, it doesn't really matter. And the fact that this watch comes with an IP68 rating, meaning that you can take it absolutely everywhere and not think twice about taking this watch off, it'd be absolutely perfectly fine in any conditions. So because so many people were asking me what sort of watch you should buy for certain price with these particular options, I think this is a really good buy because the battery lasts a long time, the microphone is good, the speaker is good. Yes, there are some downfalls, but they are only minor. So my conclusion would be, yes, I would recommend this product. I've paid my own money because I believed in this product. I've read a lot, you know, about what's going on inside, and I think for majority of you who are looking for a nice watch, you know, very nicely built watch with a good battery and good microphone and all those things, this is a good buy. So check it out. I'll leave the link down below. If you're not happy with the seller that I've purchased it from, you're more than welcome to find this watch on AliExpress or any other platforms. See if you can save a bit more money. And yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. If you still got any questions, don't hesitate, comment down below. I'll do my best to answer your questions as soon as I possibly can. Thank you very much for subscribing, thank you very much for supporting this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.